Hey guys, Reyfar here, talking about Heat 11, published in 2014. Lovely coverwork illustration done by Blotch, oh god, it's story, Slipwolf story. I think this is the first one that Slipwolf's published in, pretty sure. Yeah, so, first off, we got, the case of the Gelatinous Gemstone by Kyovi and Tempeh Okun. In this one, I've been having trouble talking about, so I think I might just be brief. I think there are a few things in this one where, it's a fun story, it's a definitely more comedy-leaning one, because it follows, Ohai, this kind of, I guess, humorous detective, because, he sees himself as, an out-of-control rebel that's making a mess, but in reality, he's, a by-the-books, super cop or whatever, with his, super inspector detective, wife? I'm pretty sure it's wife. I'm pretty sure they're married. And they're, solving the case of this missing gemstone at this hotel. The owner's an eccentric weasel or whatever. And, it's just a fun piece. I was struggling to say much about it. And whether that's telling, I don't know, but probably more than me. But yeah, I don't know, I think that's really just it. I love the art, and I love all the little, oh my god, little things. But I think kind of what gets me is that, aside from all of that, the overarching story, is kind of unmemorable. You kind of just, it's you get to the end, oh, that was it. And it's oh, okay. I'm glad it brought all these characters together because they were so cool and interesting, but it's yup. I don't know. It's just something. I think a lot was also lost in the whole crime thing. I still don't get what the whole gelatinous part of the whole gemstone thing was. I think there was traces of gelatinous thing or something. I really don't know. I'm pretty sure it's probably one of those ones where I just need to reread it through and then I'll get it. But just reading it through once, I'm just a bit lost. One thing that's fun is with High and his wife Elsie. Every time they start getting it on, she has a breakthrough in solving a part of the puzzle of the crime or whatever. And so he basically just keeps getting denied until the end, or when they finally solve it, which is pretty funny. It's because it's pretty funny because she loudly proclaims her train of thought as they're going through, and she's shit. I think I'll probably just need to read it again or see if he's written with those characters again, and maybe that will deal with me better. I don't know. Next up is Never Again by Sophie Cabria. I think it's Sophie Cabra. There's no I at the end. Actually, this is a super adorable comic. I absolutely love it. Basically these two guys, they're dying to meet each other at this convention and get some private time, and they keep getting interrupted. And then there's a funny little, I wouldn't say twist, but reveal at the end as to why they're apart or how they've been apart. And the artist is familiar, and I really want to check out her work because I just love all her fucking faces. It's so cool. Every single panel, later on. Yeah. Also, pairing fucking rhinos for the win and ferrets. I fucking love this bottom one here. This fucking great fucking panel. So cute. Next up, we've got Lines by Husky Tear. And I love the art. This was, Peg Bruno. Okay, so I'm not familiar with the artist, but I should fucking check it out. Look how cool the art is. I mean, you know, it's a Husky Tear story, so it's good. But, you know, look at the art. I also like what's going on here at this spread. What is her name? I'm forgetting everyone's names today. Oh yeah, so Judy. What was I trying to for? Oh yeah, so Judy is a struggling actress. She's trying to get a big part or whatever. So in between, big part in theatre. That's what she's a theatre actress. And so yeah, she's trying to find a decent job, but in the meantime, she picks up work by doing like a phone sex line, and she has different types of characters she plays, and one of them is Susie Mew, sexy snow leopard, and as you can see, she's I don't know, she's a slightly, I don't know if she's a big girl, but she's probably like a slightly chubby badger. Yeah, she's a badger. I was gonna say skunk. No, I'm pretty sure she's a badger. Pretty sure she's a badger. Like, you'd think I'd fucking remember that. But yeah, no, I fucking love the opening, and I love a lot of the I guess the Amphro interactions to do with talking on the phone sex line. Like, there's this fucking funny one early on where so she's on this phone with this guy, and she says, your paw feels so good on my clit. And then he's like, hoof, because he's a horse. And she's like, shit, you know, you don't assume, it ruins the fantasy. I fucking love that. Oh yeah, so anyway, so she does that, and her girlfriend, Iga, no, it's pronounced Iga. Her girlfriend Iga doesn't really like it, because she thinks it's a bit demeaning on her, like, for her talent, and on, I guess, their relationship a bit. There's a lot going on there. And yeah, so, and it's starting to, well, Susie's starting to lag a bit, and she wants to kind of pick something new, because she's had like a couple different characters she plays, and then so she decides she decides stupidly to base her next character on her girlfriend, because so her girlfriend works like early mornings and like has to sleep at night, so yeah, that's a thing, and and so she starts playing a character based off her girlfriend, and like doing basically like doing the things that she likes, like, you know, pretend to be her and whatever, and you know, it's going well, it's like fucking her best character, and then like she's like, I don't want to get caught doing this, because like she's gonna lose her shit, like she does, and yeah, no, like it's just a super cool, fun story, and I don't know if I can convey that well. I think that's like a lot of these things. Yeah, like, again, it's Husky Tear's work, so like I love how she weaves anthropomorphicness, animal people stuff into the story, or what. There's probably a proper term for it. Or the shit that Fred Patton makes on about. And oh yeah, so she's got the Australian character, the Sheila the kangaroo dominatrix, who, how was it? Oh, she was saying how it was her personal favourite, and it's like, you daggy drongo, I'm gonna give you a good kicking down under. So next up's ad is Kala Sudor by Donryu. I love his work. Cool ad. Paw prints and then a butt heart. Next up is the very lewd and lovely artwork comic by Blue Panther. I still fucking love his stuff ever since I found him through Haven City. I wish he was a bit more prolific. I mean, he's probably posting somewhere for paid or something that I just haven't seen. Yeah, like I like this comic. Though I will say I'm still a bit confused as to who's what. Like at the end, yeah, just a hot comic between two kind of studly horses. Next up is Jewels of Remorse by Slipwolf, which I pretty am sure that is his first Heat publication. Went on to do more. So yeah, this one's a pretty cool one. So it tells like the story of well, not the story. It follows Gentry, who's like the leader of these like spacer systers and conmen, and typically they go after like like rich people and shit like that. And then but this time, Gentry's they're tricking like a tribal based people, a planet of a tribe. They're tricking a tribe on a planet of a tribal based people that have like been deemed like, don't fuck with them by the Intergalactic Federation or whatever. They had a fucking name. And yeah, and one of the crewmen, the raccoon, what's his name? Sendris is kind of doubting it. He's like, no, this isn't fucking right. It's like, and Jamie's like, we're just about to do it. Like, we've been fucking playing this for ages. It's like, you're gonna pussy out, are you? And yeah, the other crew member, Coral, I think Fox, is a bit indifferent about it. And anyway, so they go along with it. And so, like, the big plan is that, they've been using, like old tech that, like, putting like nightmares in the dreams through like technology or something. And then Gentry dresses up as like a shaman to say like, oh, I'll make them go away if you give me all this like this valuable space rock that the planet's got a shit ton of, that they use as just like shiny stuff really. Like it's got more value to them than it does the tribal people. And yeah, it's going well, and then he's stopped by the matriarch, and then she's like, I think we should make this a more private ceremony, and then so he's taken into their private tent with her mate or whatever. Is this? Oh yeah, fuck, that's right. And so So yeah, the tribal people of coyotes, and so Gentry's a coyote, so that's why he has to be the salmon. Sorry, that was a big fucking thing too. And yeah, so he's invited inside the tent by the matriarch and her mate, who's a big buff fucking coyote, and I mean, it's all very hot, and I fucking love it. And then the ending's fucking cool, and it does sound like I'm just really like fucking bored of it, but it's so fucking hot today, and my mind is just like mush, and I'm just like like I think I'll sum it up towards the end, but like with pretty much all these things in Heat, like granted I probably read them like a day or two apart of each other, so like they're spaced a bit too much, and like I think I enjoyed them too much where I wasn't thinking very critically about them. I was just like, yeah, this is great. I was just going through it and then trying to talk about it. It's just like, yup, this was good. Yup, that one was good. It's just like, so yeah, no, I do love this little story. And yeah, I really not so much what to say. Next up we've got fucking hilarious comic by is it just Black Tegan? Fuck. Yeah, it is just Black Tegan. Of the Sheepdog Trials Training Week, and I like the fucking puns and stuff. And what was the name again? And yeah, so like two of these one of the sheepdogs is fucking big and buff, is like drooling over Alyssa. It's probably announced Alyssa, yeah. He's drooling over Alyssa, and like so, like you feel like it's following him the whole time. And, yeah, they got it bad. I can just see how it is, and then spoilers. It's the slightly chubby sheepdog that she's been a bit dick used to, is the one she was after. And then at the end, he's just like, what the fuck? Expression at the end. Oh yes, I said I like this last line. It's like, oh Huey, I only have the U's for you. Oh, the I's? Maybe you pronounce it differently in Scottish or something. I like the pun. Yeah, no, I do like the comic. It's cool. But no, I do like the comic. It's cool. I think I read it before, like months ago or something. Next up is Lip Surface by White Yote, illustrated by Mari. I think this is probably the only one I have a problem with in Heat 11, because I tried to discuss it with someone for a bit, and I think I might need someone to explain to me, but I really didn't get what the story was about. Like, it just really felt like we potted around with you're following this Foster bartender. He was a pretty cool character. I can't remember his name. I was trying to scan for it there. I couldn't see it in the first couple pages. And it's basically just his evening, waiting tables at this cliffside kind of ritzy bar, restaurant, hotel thing. I think they had a name and they explained it. I can't fucking remember. I think it had a name and they explained it and I can't remember. Like, I guess looking at it now, like, I can kind of see the running theme where I don't know if I should use the term drifting or moving away, but like his connections with the people around him seem to be, I guess, disappearing. Just not like sharply, just like he doesn't, you kind of get the feeling that he doesn't really hang out or know with these people that well. Like, not, and I don't think that's, it might be some part on the story, I don't know, but like going on, there's the interaction between his post-operation trans girl Aiden, and how he doesn't seem like totally on board with that, and then him going through his past dates, like past boyfriends or whatever, and then looking at that opening and then wondering what the fuck that has got to do with him lusting over the one guy he's waiting on tables for, a polar bear daddy guy or whatever. He's trying to work out if he's gay or not, and whether he should not whether he should hit on him, because he's hitting on him all night, like playing all these fucking tricks and cards, and then he can't get a straight signal, so he's frustrated. He basically accosts him in the bathroom, and then there's this incredibly ambiguous ending, and it's just like, I still don't get what the fucking point of the story was. Like, I even looking at some of these themes and trying to tie them together, like, I just don't get it, like, at all. Like, I mean, clearly that's a point, having the ambiguous ending, because the polar bear, after getting his dick sucked forcefully, to a degree, he leaves a message on his receipt, like, and you don't know if it's something as dirty and slutty as leaving an extra tip or a message or phone number or what. And then you can't even gauge anything by the Foss's reaction to it in the last couple of sentences, and it's just like, I just don't get it. And yeah, like typically, like I like Lily's work, but this one I just really didn't get, and I think I just need someone to explain it to me, really. But like, yeah, aside from that, I do like all the things going through it, but again, as a whole, I just didn't get it. Next up, we've got a very sexy coyote posing here on posing here for the crossword, and I had a lot of fun doing it. I had to cheat a bit halfway through the end and look up some of the answers at the back. And I did not know, what was it? A town in Pennsylvania, there's one called Intercourse, and I'm like, what the hell? I didn't look it up, it's probably quite boring, but some of them were pretty funny. There were a couple where it was just, I guess just more the language, that, like, for, like some of the ones where it's, fuck, I don't do crosswords, so I can't explain it. Where it's like, it's hinting at a word, or saying like, a word that's like this. And I just didn't get it because it wasn't a word that I typically use or whatever. But I think that's how crosswords work. Huh. Okay, so next up, I'm pretty sure this is the only poem in Heat 11. Heat, by Cameron Kuko, illustrated by Falia. Shit, the name's super familiar. I should fucking have a list. I know the person's been in Heat for ages now. Yeah, it's just a cool poem about loving someone that's in heat. There's a lovely wispy, steamy, and flamey illustration going on here. Next up is Capo al Fine, which is, I looked it up, it's a musical term for like back at the beginning, like you just repeat the thing, the stanza or something, some music shit, and it ties in nicely. Like I quite like this story, this Darken story. It's a bit, I guess it was a bit more my speed this time around. It's illustrated by the lovely work by Katie Hofgaard. I'd try and find a page that's not just nudity, but lovely artwork at the end there. Sad artwork. Yeah, so this one, it follows. Yeah, you know they're both Helena. It follows Helena, who's like basically a gene. There's a specific term. It was like something. What do I call it again? Oh yeah, so she's like a meta, which is like oh no, sorry. So it's not all metas. So it's just all metas at this hotel were basically sex slaves, and they work in the porn industry, and they're just the Amphitrite characters, and they're gene engineered to only have 5 years. Yeah, it's a 5-year lifespan, and typically So typically they're made up of, they're given memories of different people to build a background, because, they've grown at a certain age, and that way it doesn't clash, and like they don't get feedback, but Helena's like the rare exception where she's like a gene engineered duplicate copy of her mother, the real Helena, who passed away because her lifespan extended. So they gave her memories to, basically it's a new Helena, but they gave her old Helena's memory. So so she has this really kind of heartbreaking like feedback problem where like if the memories are too strong for something, she just gets stuck in like a memory. I think that's pretty much how she explained it. And so to fight this, she does things that her mother Helena, wouldn't do. So like she's throughout the story, she's drinking I think it was a caramel latte, some coffee that her mother hated, and so she's using that to brace herself. Oh yeah, so it's the morning after. So okay, so it's the morning after Helena, her mother died. So her mother died in the morning, and she was made it in the afternoon, and now it's the Monday morning, and yes, so they're acclimatizing herself. She's going around with Christy, who's another meta, and it's helping her like get used to the place and acclimatize to it. I lost my train of thought. And it's all really fucking super cool. Like I was thinking how, cause well, really like the whole idea of like gene engineered sex slaves or sex slaves in general is very very distasteful to me, and before I think is it Hot Dish 1 or Hot Dish 2? Because Darken's got a story in that where it's what is it? Let me find it so I can see it. Oh yeah, so a woman and a human constructed canine sex slave fight to survive after the sinking of their cruise ship. And yeah, so like I was like as bad as I was kind of just gonna avoid that story because I really don't like it. But now reading this, it's like I should give it a chance because he played with it really fucking well. Yeah, like it was definitely it definitely is one of the more engaging ones for me in Heat 11. Because it got me to think about it a bit more. I really, really do like it. Like probably in the same vein I like the original Blade Runner. Um, yeah, I've lost my train of thought. But yeah, other things I guess I really like the memory feedback thing, and how like the little things set it off, and then there's one thing where she was fighting going into the memory, and the memory started the same way because it would, because it's not her memory. If you get what I'm saying, like sure she has her memories, but it's not. I don't think it's as if you really want to go into it, I don't think it's as what's the word organic. If you get what I'm meaning, whereas like most of the time if you're thinking about memories, you can think about them differently. Whereas I feel if you have someone else's memories, you can only remember it a certain way. Like that's not organic. I don't know if Dark End thought that hard about it, but that's how I was kind of gauging it. Yeah, so oh yeah, shit. So so aside from that fucking background, the story is about Helena getting used to all that shit, and trying to find, I guess, a bit of redemption in Helena's lover. Yeah, so like Helena and this human female were in love, and she put it off telling Angel that she was gonna die, like pretty much till like probably the day before, I'm pretty sure it was, and yeah, so they're forced to work together. So like Helena wanted to So there's this really cool thing where that, and so yeah, there's a really cool thing to do with all this at the end, and I have just butchered it horribly trying to explain it. So I don't know, read the story and don't look at me for explaining it, but it's really fucking cool. Yeah, so like I fucking love this story. I love everything about it. It took me out of my comfort zone, at least in terms. Took me out of my comfort zone, at least in terms of that concept. So next up we got a really cute ad for the movie The Genesis by Kamui. And yeah, that Jeanette, that's it, that's what they are. Jeanette is fucking sexy. Though I don't know, was it he made a hulking fuck beast out of potato or something? Something fucking silly. It does sound like a cool movie. Next up we got Well-Rounded, a comic by probably pronounced Utix. Quite like the style. It's a nice cutesy comic. Yeah, yeah, I don't know what to say. It's a bit kind of, I guess, normal fairy porn narrative. I don't know, it's cool. I mean, it just didn't hit it off with me. That's really just it. I do love her artwork, and her faces are so cute. And some of the I guess the cutesy reaction things in the corners, cute too. Last up is Fundamental Natures by Kyle Gould, illustrated by Darren Ward, Koyox. I think I said that right. And I'm pretty sure I heard about this one talked about before, and I forgot about it. Like, I've never read this story before now. And shock horror, I haven't read every Kyle Gold story. I wonder if there's someone that is like they've read everything in every comic book that he's done, and everything under his different names and shit like that. Yeah, so it follows Chorus, who's at this this magical Dispel the Gay camp in a pretty cool magical kind of setting, and he's there. Oh shit! So like everyone, well, no, not everyone. So he's pretty convinced that the whole Dispel the Gay thing's like a big sham. Like it's, and like people just send like the nobles just send their sons there for like the political gain, because like the guy that runs it, Doctor, no, not is it Doctor? Oh, sorry, not Wizard Living Fires Dispel the Gay camp. And yeah, like, because he's like a powerful wizard, so they have probably political needs, and and he's there because I have to think about this. And he's there because Prince Pob's there, who's this hotline guy he's lusting over. And like this, I had to read like the first couple of paragraphs a couple of times, because I was like, I was having trouble. Just wrapping my head around the circumstances that they're in, and like who's who, because I got a bit confused between Lord Flaverius, who's this otter he's sneaking into his dorm window at the night to for a blowjob, to prove he has to prove he's it's a big thing. Oh god, I'm fucking this up. Because he's convinced Florius that you know because Florius isn't gay, like he's just there for the political shit. So it's like, you need to do gay stuff, otherwise, he'll kick you out. So he kind of tricks you into giving him a blowjob, which is a pretty funny thing there. Oh yeah, so yeah, and then after that he goes to sneak into Prince Poble's room to have a go with him, and then he finds he's missing. So then he goes with his friend who's also there, Devley, who he hit it off as soon as they got there, and they hit it off, and they go to Dr. Professor fucking Wizard Livingfire's laboratory in the woods, and oh my god, Livingfire's laboratory in the woods, and he breaks into it, and then he sees Prince Pop, and then he's shocked to find that he is straight, and he's not interested in him. He's like, what the, like. And Devley makes a joke of this. He's like, oh, you know, are you sure it's not just your ego being wounded? Like, how do you know he wasn't even interested in you? It's like, no, I know him. And oh yeah, and then fucking Living Fire busts in, and then knocks him out with a sleep spell, and then when he wakes up, he finds he's naked and then tied to the table in the same position that Pod was, but, you know, Devley frees him, and then, so yeah, the story goes pretty cool, and then, what was really bugging me is, like, towards the end, I'm like, when it was, everything was being explained, and the thing was wrapping up, or whatever, and, I thought it was starting to lean somewhere. I'm like, no, this is. I was with Chorus. Like, this is. Don't fall for this, Chorus. This is like fucking horrible. Like, you don't want this alternative. Like, then your dad wins. I'm glad that panned out better than that. Yeah, the fucking spoils my fucking butchered fucking explanation. Fundamental Natures is a really lovely story, and I love all of the illustrations in it. It's so cool and cute. I love them there. I like the setting. It was reminding me of I think it was a Carl Gold story where there's these two magical apprentices, and then you know, they're always fooling around or whatever, and their wizard teacher that they're under casts a chastity spell on the lion or something, and, you know, they're trying to kind of circumvent it, much to his sexual frustration. So it reminded me a lot of that kind of setting. It's probably one I need to read more of. I do also fucking love Darren's artwork, or Koyok's. Like, I love his illustration here, the sexy lion and sexy coyote, like the body types. Yeah, no, it's a cool story. I suppose that will do. So, in summary, like, I do love Heat 11, though I feel, I guess looking back, some of it was kind of hit and miss in terms of, like, engagement levels. I think that's really just it. Whether it's just the heat in me today, or me spacing it out too much, or what, I don't know. But I know my fucking critical analysis is fucking just off the fucking rails, and this is pretty much a train wreck. But at the end of the day, it's still a good Heat issue, and pretty much all stories are super cool. And yeah, I don't. And I think, and yeah, it was a bit surprising to see it was a bit light on the poems. Like, there was just one poem this time around, and it was definitely a bit more, I guess, story heavy of all the Heats. I mean, there were the 3 comics, but really one of them. Oh, actually no, sorry. No, there's 4 comics. Sorry, my bad. And really, 2 of them had story. The other 2 they weren't bad, but they weren't there. And then you kind of don't remember them as well when looking back at the Heat. Yeah. So I look forward to going on to Heat 12. I quite like the cover. It's a red striking one. And hopefully it'll just be a bit more engaging. But yeah. So, Heat 11 was brought to us by... managing editor is Alopex. Chief publisher was Jeff Eddy. Story editors were Dark End and Jeff Eddy. Artistic director is Tegan Gavitt. And layout designer is Tegan Gavitt. Cover illustration is by Blotch. The Case of the Gelatinous Gemstone was by Tempe O'Coon, illustrated by Kiovi. Never Again by Sophie Cabra. Lines by Alice Husky-Tia Dryden. Illustrations by Peggy Bruno. Kalosudor by Don Ryu. On Duty by Blue Panther. Jewels of Remorse by Slipwolf. Illustrations by Ludo, aka Bloodshot23 at Fur Affinity. Sheep Trials by Tegan Gavitt. Lip Service by White Yote, illustrated by Mari. Naughty Words by Tegan Gavitt. Heat by Cameron Kuko. I got confused there, it's so hard. Illustrated by Arthalia. That's probably how it's pronounced. Da Capo al Fine. Written by Dark End, illustrated by Katie Hofgaard. The Geneticist by Kamui. Well-Rounded by Utix. Fundamental Natures by Kyle Gold, illustrated by Darren Wild, Kyox. Afterglow illustrations by Autumn Sunrise. Heat is published in 2014 by Sofawolf Press. St. Paul, Minnesota. And yeah, so really do grab Heat 11. I know this has probably been a horrible fucking sell, but what was it? But Jewels of Remorse by Slipwolf is actually a really hot story. I love the illustrations towards the end. I think, if I had to pick a couple of things, I'd say, Fundamental Natures, the Never Again by Sophie Cabra, and Dark End's, how to pick that, and Dark End's story, Da Capo al Fine, is definitely just warrant enough alone to pick up Heat 11. So I've been Reyfar, and hopefully I'll catch you later with fucking this shit.